Hello, welcome Instagram and Facebook. Dr. Judy is on her way back to the United States. So she will be back next week to join us for Eye Health Awareness Week. So we're going to have a few awesome live sessions with Dr. Judy about eye health and some common questions and topics that people ask about. She's also going to talk about the TCVM perspective of eye health. So we got a lot of really great information coming up. But today, before she gets back, her last day of vacation, I wanted to talk about some of the new raw dog and cat foods that we added to naturallyhealthypets.com, which is also drjudymorgan.com. So everything I talk about today is going to be available there. We also do recommend fresh and frozen raw brands as well, but we don't have a freezer here or the capability to ship frozen product. So we're not at that stage yet, but you can get Dr. Judy's Constitutions and Dr. Judy's Pup Loaf at allprovide.com if you're interested in fresh or frozen raw. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a few brands that we onboarded relatively recently, but you're going to notice that they all follow pretty similar patterns. So something that they're all going to have in common, they're all going to be a high meat freeze-dried raw for dogs. Some are for just for dogs, some are for dogs and cats. And they're all going to be using whole food ingredients, minimizing any synthetic vitamins. So we're trying to avoid all of the synthetic additives and instead find balance through whole food ingredients, which is a little bit more challenging to do. So those are some things that are going to be the same throughout. The cat foods, cats are obligate carnivores, so the cat foods we're talking about today are going to be a little bit higher meat than the dog foods. And all of them, again, are going to be no synthetic vitamins and high meat content, even the dog foods that are lower than the cat foods. All right, so the first brand that we're going to talk about is Green Juju. So Green Juju, our friend Billy Hookman, when he joined, he had some really great connections to high quality meats. And so the reason why the sourcing of the meat matters so much is because it actually changes significantly the vitamins, minerals, the different composition of the meat depends on what the animal was eating, how it was raised, things like that. So the sourcing of these ingredients is really important. And when you start with a high quality meat, you don't have to add a whole lot. So these are pretty limited ingredient options for Green Juju. They have a bison, a pork, a rabbit with duck liver, and there's one more, it's the fourth one, beef. I don't know. It'll pop up across the screen in a minute. But anyway, all of them are pretty similar. They're going to be limited ingredients. Basically, it's going to be meat, bone, and organ, and some dark leafy vegetables added. So for example, the pork recipe, which I'll show you Instagram, their packaging is really cute. It also is resealable. So that's awesome. But the pork recipe, if I can find the ingredients, it is muscle meat, organ meat, bone, and 5% whole food additions. So it's a very high meat formula, and it is labeled just for dogs, but it does fit the nutrition profile for cats as well. So this can be fed to cats or dogs, and it comes in these nice little nuggets, which is a little bit hard to see, but we have a better picture on the website, which again is naturallyhealthypets.com. And both my cats and dogs actually really love the Green Juju freeze-dried food. Again, it's limited ingredients. So the pork is just pork heart, pork muscle meat, pork liver, pork bone, organic collard greens, organic kelp, and a vitamin E supplement added. So again, when you're starting with a high quality meat base, you really don't have to add a whole lot to meet the cat and dog nutrition requirements. They're all single protein except for the rabbit has duck liver added. So that is the one exception. But duck, again, is a pretty novel protein too. So this is still a really great option, the rabbit specifically for those with sensitivities, because it's a pretty novel cooling protein. So is duck. Pork would be another option that's not as common and great for those that are sensitive or have a lot of sensitivities because it's not as common in a lot of pet foods. But the rabbit ingredients is rabbit with ground bone, duck liver, organic dandelion greens, organic kelp, and a vitamin E supplement. So that is literally just a handful of ingredients that makes it balanced because we're starting with such a high quality meat base from ethical, humane sources. So they have 4 different kinds of the green Juju freeze-dried food. It's labeled for dogs, but cats can eat it too. It is balanced for cats and dogs. And this is a really nice, complete for all life stages option. So thank you, Green Juju. They have treats as well that are toppers. You could start with some of their topper treats to see if your pet likes some of the fresh foods added to their bowl, and then you can transition to a complete food like that. All right, so we are gonna do the Quest cat food next, and this one is specific to cats. And it is a prey model formulation, so it's very, very high meat. I believe it's 95% meat, bone, organ. So the ingredients, this is their whitefish, and it's a wild caught whitefish recipe for cats. Their ingredients are pollock, Pacific cod, rockfish, salmon, chia seed, goat milk, fenugreek, flaxseed, kelp, taurine, greenlit mussel, coconut oil, inulin, and ground eggshell. This is complete for cats. These are nice, small little nuggets. Again, it's hard to see here, but if you go on the website, naturallyhealthypets.com, we have some great pictures as well as full product descriptions if I miss out on any key pieces here. But this is fitting AFCO nutrition profiles, and this is for all life stages for cats. These are nice little nuggets that you can break up. You add just some warm or slightly hot water to, and then any supplements you can mix in. The other one that I have here is the chicken recipe. My cats really love chicken flavor of freeze-dried raw foods. So I find chicken's pretty palatable for most cats. Fish is a little bit hit or miss. My cats won't touch anything fish, but a lot of cats do like fish. But for the chicken, again, simple ingredients: chicken liver, chicken heart, chicken necks, raw goat milk, flaxseed, kelp, salmon oil, taurine, inulin, coconut oil, chia seeds, sesame seeds, and eggshell membrane, all using whole food ingredients to create that balanced nutrition profile for our kitty cats. So this is the Quest cat food, and this is available at naturallyhealthypets.com in beef, chicken, whitefish, and pork. But pork is another favorite with my cats. The chicken and pork are big favorites in my house. Okay. Now we're going to talk about another cat food that we onboarded, and this is through Small Batch, another company that we really love. We have some treats by Small Batch as well that we've had on the website for quite a while. But they have a very high meat, bone, organ formula. It's 98% meat, organs, and bone, balanced for kitty cats. It comes in 3 different flavors. It has beef, chicken, and turkey. So again, the single ingredient options are really great for those that are a little bit sensitive. I have a kitty cat that is a frequent vomiter, which is not normal, even if it's just hairballs or little spit ups. And I realized that he was sensitive to turkey, and I was feeding him a lot of turkey, and I didn't realize it until I actually tried just a single ingredient food, because I had all these turducken recipes and things like that, that it was actually causing digestive issues when I was repeatedly feeding him just the protein turkey. So using a single ingredient definitely can be helpful if you don't know your pet has any type of sensitivity and you might have some GI upset or some other symptoms going on. These single ingredient recipes are a really great option. So turkey, pretty palatable. The chicken, again, in my house, that's a favorite. And it is a little bit of a softer formula. So all of these will rehydrate and become really nice and soft and soupy if you want to add a lot of extra water. But the chicken I've found with my cats definitely is nice and crumbly. It makes a really good texture that they enjoy. So chicken, again, my cat's favorite. All right. Now we are going to go back to our friends at Small Batch. So we just talked about their cat food, which is 98% meat, bone, and organ. They also have a Small Batch freeze-dried dog food. And this comes in a whole bunch of different flavors. These are little patties, and they do tell you they call them sliders. So you just crush up the sliders into a bowl and add some water. And then we serve that on a platter with whatever supplements or other additions we want to add to it. Again, some of these ingredients It's all using whole food ingredients. So for chicken, it's going to be all chicken, chicken backs, skinless chicken necks, livers, heart, gizzards, yams, carrots, squash, a whole bunch of other vegetables and fruits added to it. The dog version has a lot more produce, like the fruits and vegetables and things added to it than the cat version. Again, because we typically are our cats are more on, or our cats are obligate carnivores. We say dogs, it's a big debate whether people call them carnivores or omnivorous carnivores or whatever, but we do add a little bit more vegetable matter to our dog diets typically. You don't have to. And another thing that we really like about small batch is that they do use a lot of local and obviously humane but sustainable sourcing. So they really are another company that cares a lot about where the meat and the produce comes from. And that is, again, important for our actual nutrient quality, the vitamin content, the mineral content. The vitamin and mineral content, there you go, is going to be different when you are using these really high quality ingredients. So we really, really like this. It's a West Coast company, and we really, really like their sourcing, their ethics, their formulation using all whole food ingredients. And they have this small batch dog, and we just talked about the small batch cat. They do have frozen as well. So if you have a local pet store, you could ask if they will get you the frozen small batch as well. Last but certainly not least, this was a surprising favorite in my house. I was a little bit skeptical that my cats would like this. So this is the Steve's Real Food, and it's for cats and dogs. And it's going to be, I believe this is an 80-20 ratio. So it's going to be a little lower in meat than some of our cat-specific recipes. And the Quest is a Steve's Real Food brand that is specific for cats, having that higher meat content. But you can feed these recipes to your cats or dogs. And in my household, where I have both, it's really nice to have one bag on hand that I can kind of throw in any bowl. And I was skeptical, but my cats actually broke into the box when I brought it home to tear open the bag of Steve's Real. It was Lammu, which unfortunately we're sold out of right now. It's a lamb emu mixture, and they went nuts for it. They literally broke into the bag. So that was when I was like, I wasn't specifically going to try this for my cats, but they really thought it was delicious. So the chicken and the pork were favorites in my house, but they do have turducken as well, which is turkey and duck. Two cooling, more novel-ish proteins. So this is great for a lot of our sensitive allergy type pets. It's very, very popular off the shelves here. Pork is another pretty good option for those that have sensitivities and allergies. My pets loved the Lammu, which was the lamb and emu. Unfortunately, we're sold out of. And second best was chicken. So they're actually eating chicken right now because they refused another brand, which I won't say right now, but I'm feeding them an older brand that we're not actually recommending anymore, and they wouldn't eat it after I gave them the Steve's. So I really love the Steve's Real for both dogs and cats. And the pork, for example, has pork heart, pork liver, carrots, kale, ground pork neck bone, broccoli, goat milk, chia seed, flaxseed, dried kelp, salmon oil, taurine, greenlet mussel, inulin, coconut oil, sesame seeds, ground eggshell. All whole food ingredients, all starting with our meat, bone, and organ in the beginning. That's the highest meat content. All right. So again, all of the options that I talked about today are at naturallyhealthypets.com, which is also drjudymorgan.com. You can get all of them there. And some of the things that you probably noticed through all the brands, and it's one of the things that we look for, again, that high meat content coming from a really high quality source, ethically raised and slaughtered is important to us. And we also want to make sure that we're using as many whole food ingredients as possible. There are other brands, like, so say you're transitioning from a kibble, that's a very high carb diet, and you find something that's a little bit cheaper, that's a freeze dried raw, but it has some extra carbohydrates and things added, fillers added into it. Again, you can work your way up to something that is what we consider the best options available. But you're going to see a lot of benefits just working these whole food ingredients into your pet's diets health wise long term. So if you have not already, I highly suggest trying out some of these brands. I have larger dogs, so a freeze-dried raw just isn't economical for me long term, but I really love having them on hand. I can use them as toppers, treats. If I forget to thaw something out from the freezer, which I do way too frequently, I will just put some of this in a bowl to soak and feed that to my dogs instead. So it's still really practical to have on hand, even if you have larger dogs or you're a little bit worried about the financial impact of feeding just a freeze-dried raw over a long period of time. This can be something that you work in as a special treat for your dog, or you could use it in conjunction with other diets, prioritizing still fresh foods. All right. I think that's it for today. Dr. Judy will be back next week talking about our eye health awareness. So I was gonna say keep an eye out, but I don't want to say that. Just look out for all of our scheduled update. Keep an eye out for Eye Health Awareness Week. Yeah, I didn't think that one through before I said it. Anyway, that's what we're talking about next week. Bye, everyone.